Hey everyone, this is Julia, the Nomadic Crafter, here with the follow-up on the t-shirt dresses transformation. They are completed and I'm going to show you that, and I want to talk a little bit about custom orders, and I'd like to do another video all about taking custom orders for you other crafters out there. And then I want to show you an upcoming project, and I also just washed my hair with hot water in the big giant sink bath there. It's awesome. So it's all free, just getting ready to dry. I also want to do a dreadlocks video. I did one a year and a half ago or so, and for the whole video I had a hat on, and it didn't even occur to me to take the hat off for the dreadlock video. All right, so now I'm going to show you the 4 dresses that I made. This was a custom order for t-shirt dresses, where I take a t-shirt and a skirt and I sew them together into a dress. Usually I'm doing either a baby doll dress with a waist up here or just a high waist here, and it has a certain cute effect. And if the length is above the knee, it's just adorable. But this, after looking at the measurements and talking with the customer, I realized what she's wanting is a little bit of a lower waist, even a drop waist at one point for one of the dresses. And when I talk about that dress is when I'll get into some of the custom order thoughts for a crafter who takes on those custom orders, as opposed to just making what you want, whatever you come up with, and then selling it online, hopefully. All right, so you ready to see the dresses? Oh, right, okay. No, so you ready to see the dresses? All right, here's dress number 1. This is my favorite. I mean, it's, again, this is a simple project of sewing the two together. Now, and I'll show you on the next one, it's not always actually easy, but the sewing itself is simple. Oops, that's the back. This is the front. So this is not a high waist, but it's not super low either. This customer has a really long torso and really short inseam. So, but anyway, that's how that came out. I just think it's adorable. Imagine that with some brown tall boots. All right, and then here's dress number 2. And this is really quite lower waist dress. And the thing is the skirts she sent me are all really short little dresses. So that's perfect for more of a drop waist, and then you have that little cute skirt on the bottom. But where this can be a challenge sometimes is, for example, on this one, this had a side zipper. Wait, was that this one? Oh no, it's the next one. This one was a challenge because it has, it's a really thin rayon, and it had a liner. So that's sewing 2 of them on. You have to do it separately unless you can line it up pretty good. Actually, I think I did it both at the same time with this one. But anyway, that's how this one came out. And again, with the drop waist and the little short skirt, I think it works quite well. All right, so here's the third one. Now, the issue that came up with this one and what makes it difficult sometimes is, here's the third one. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one. I love it. The thing that came up with this one was, it's a really short skirt. I didn't take any length off of it. I cut it just as high as I could. But it had a side zipper. So, or a back zipper, right? Yeah. So here's the back. And what I had to do was cut the zipper out first. And the zipper only went halfway down, so I had to cut it out and then restitch the 2 pieces together, creating a seam, which you can hardly see there, but it is there. And that worked out beautifully. It came out even, you know, it's no big deal. But it is extra work. So, that is the third one. Love it. Adorable. And then the 4th one was a little strange because she said she wanted it longer than the other ones below the knee, and to keep the skirt length the same and keep most of the shirt. And I was like, wow, the shirt... Most t-shirts, you know, do not stop at your waist or even a little bit lower. They're even lower than that. So if you put a skirt way down here, it's going to be a little weird if your waist is right at your butt. You know what I mean? And then if you have a long skirt attached to that, it's just going to be really droopy and heavy on the bottom. And that's what I was worried about this piece. So after consulting with her and doing my own judgment about what kind of was actually going to work, and keeping in mind what she really was going for, even though she had the measurement being what I thought was way too long, the adjustment between what she wanted and what I knew would work was what I had to come up with. So here's the fourth dress, and it is quite long, and it'll go below her knee. So I prefer if I do a long top to do a short skirt. I think that's a better look. But I think this is the right balance that I came up with here between the length of the top and the length of the skirt. This one is Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I love it when a customer says, don't worry about it, I'm not that picky. They'll let you know what they want, but then close out with, you have artistic flexibility. So with this one, I wanted to talk about custom orders for a minute. The thing is, there's a really big difference. Every crafter is very happy to get custom orders. Come on, someone likes your stuff enough to ask you to make something for them. Custom order, I mean, it has a ring of, ooh la la. So everybody loves getting those, but there's a real difference between being a creator and making the things that are in your own head or heart and expressing yourself. A difference between that and taking on a custom order where the customer is giving you direction as to what is going to be made and how it's going to be made. In one way, you could look at it like, well, in that case, I'm just a seamstress. I'm sort of just sewing together stuff for them. But most of my work is not just that, like a custom order pair of patchwork jeans where I put patches in the side. I would be coming up with the patches, obviously, and that is the artistic part of that. But when you have a custom order and they're asking you for something, but they're asking you because of the work you do, the way you do it, and what they've already seen you do, you have to find the balance between what you do as a creative person and what they're asking you to do, right? And that's the tricky place there with custom orders. What if they ask you to do something really ugly? No, just kidding. But it's sort of like that. So, I mean, it's in a way, it's a lot more fun to just do what you want to do than it is to do a custom order. But on the other hand, it feels good to get a custom order from someone else asking you to do the work. Finding that balance in between that place is tricky. You have to use your own experience and you have to use a little bit of intuition, like I was talking about with the dress. I kind of know what she's going for and what she wants. And so I'm going to make that happen, knowing that I need to make the t-shirt a couple inches shorter than what she thought it would be for it to come out how she wants it. And this isn't even that, there's not a lot of creativity in this. It's sort of like where to put the waist, right? But in general, that's what you have to do with custom orders. Bambi, stay. And there's a lot more stress with custom orders because you're doing it for someone else. You've got to get it right, especially if it's their clothes. Hey, come here. Come here. Lay back down, buddy. There's a lot of cats around here. So, yeah, what was the other thing? I lost my train a little bit. The other thing that would happen with me when I would get, and let me back up and say custom orders are a lot more time and effort too, because you tend to message back and forth with the customer a lot. Whereas when someone buys something, you're like, thanks, woohoo. And you send it off and you collect your money. You collect your money and then you send it off. But with a custom order, there's a lot of messaging back and forth often. Or you can get to the sewing space and then have a question, have to stop, get back online and ask them. Sometimes I'll even get their phone number so I can directly text them right when I'm working if I need to, if they're able to get back with me. But another thing is, like, I used to get so swamped with custom orders that my store would be empty of things that I myself make. So at some point, they weren't even able to see who I was, what kind of artist I was, and what kind of things I like to make. So eventually, they'd start asking for all kinds of crazy things that I don't even make. And it's like, no, I do this work over here, but you can't tell that unless you go in my sold orders because there's nothing in my store. So I would get so swamped with custom orders, I could never catch up to make new things for my own store. And that also just for getting, your stuff more to the top of the page on any of these websites you might be using, you need to be regularly listing new items. So that would happen. And then, of course, the last thing is really when you're making custom orders, and I talked with Catwise about this, the sweater maker, one of the top sellers on Etsy. I talked with her about this one time. And it was like, she said at some point she began to feel like a slave, like she was just someone's bitch, you know, making stuff for them. And I have felt like that too. I had a really great customer at one point that was ordering, you know, $100 bell bottoms from me, and she ordered one and then two more and then a couple more and then more. And pretty soon I was like her personal seamstress, and she was also using all kinds of themes and fabrics that I really didn't like. At first it was okay, but then it was like all these skulls and like death images and like zombie stuff. And I was like, wow. And then she started cutting the patches herself and making them too small. And it was like the whole thing was like this big giant bear. And I was getting the same or a little bit more money than if I just made a pair of pants that I wanted to make, you know. So, yeah, so sometimes you can start to feel like a slave a little bit. And just be wary, really weary of that, because some personalities will try and push you around more than they should. So yeah, that's custom orders. Again, I think I'd like to do another video on that. Give me just a minute. I got to collect my thought. I dropped it somewhere. One more thing that's awesome about custom orders. I have gotten some orders that ended up showing me an idea that I really ran with on my own, such as a sweater repair I did recently. I'm doing that sweater, which I was really scared because it was her like favorite sweater. And she ended up loving it so much, she sent me $40 extra. I think that's what it was. She was so pleased with it. After that, I just wanted to do more sweaters. It was a great idea. Same thing with my famous bill cap that's been sold everywhere as far as Tokyo, Japan. They were hot there for a while. Came up with that bill cap idea because people kept asking me to come up with a bill cap idea. So I eventually did. I don't know how long this video is going to last, but I wanted to show you. I got some more t-shirts that I'm getting ready to do some more t-shirt dresses with. Not custom orders, but my own. And I cannot find floral skirts or any good skirts here in San Diego, even when they're like $7 a piece at Goodwill. So I'm going to go through some fabric here and try and make up some skirt bottoms. I think I'm going to start going to the fabric store and just buying floral fabric, the kind I want, and make skirts out of them. Maybe that's a better idea than finding them at the dollar store for $7 a piece. Because now I'm out in California, everything's so much more expensive. And I'm not finding like the grandma skirts that I want because everybody's too cool here. So, but in the South, there were plenty of grandma skirts, and that's what I like to work with. Or like office lady skirts, you know? So, love you grandmas, I'm getting there. All right, these are the shirts I'm going to be working with soon. I'm going to let you go, though. Thank you for watching this video. Put your comments down below and your questions. Go to my store, California Patchwork, on Etsy.com to see my work. This is Julia, the Nomadic Crafter. I will talk with you later. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.